Uh, we are here, the one and the dynamic duo,
Ah,
Nettie and Seeley.
ah, 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 ah.
Yo, how you doing today, Queen?
I am well. I am happy. I am whole. And how are you?
I am well as well. And I'm living for this mustard. This
Listen, come on,
mustard.
come on. And let me just give you a little peek of the.
Hold up.
You,
With the
do you
blue
like the?
underneath it.
You like the combination? I'm not gonna give
Ah!
y'all. I'm not gonna give y'all the whole show. But it's a little combination. One more time. It's a
One more.
little combination occurring. I don't
Come on with the
know.
blue. You see, you
Come
have to
on.
have you can't give it all away. You have to have time for a costume change, for a reveal.
For
We
a
need a
reveal.
reveal. I am
Renaissance.
Renaissance. Speaking of, have y'all went ahead and got y'all loans out?
Listen, have you sold your firstborn yet?
Have you sold
Have you have you
firstborn yet?
have you talked to Uncle Clifford and told him you're gonna need time at the bank?
You're gonna need time at the bank to
Have you
build
told
up, to build
I
up your funds.
I called Lil Murder. I said, listen, Lil Murder, I will open up. Me and Mississippi could do a collab. I will open up for you, okay? Down in the valley where the girl what you need me to do?
I
Okay.
would holler. She needs to do some ratchet like that at the top of it. Have all of the. When she go to Atlanta, we need it. We need the
If
pink.
Beyonce does anything that gives us a glimmer of homage to the pink, I will be too through. If she bring out Mercedes and give us a little duo Mercedes experience, I will be too through. Because you know the queen ear be to the street. You know her ear be to
Listen.
the street.
She hears. She
Hears.
hears and she
You,
sees.
you see, she gave us that Cuff It remix. I said, okay, so she be paying attention.
She do. She do be paying attention. But one thing that she has proven is that she can break records. And I know she's gonna win the Grammys. She's gonna break records, win Grammys without a video.
Not a single one in sight. Not a single visual. She said, I am the visual. Did you see me at the Rock Nation brunch with my aluminum corset? Did you see me looking like
Alien superstar. I'm the bar.
Did you not see her?
She everything. And okay, so wait, before we get into it, we're gonna get into it, y'all. But you just heard the people was trying to go off about her in Dubai. I want to just say this. If y'all think I was going to pass up 24 million, think again.
Listen, Darcell, as a, I recognize that I am a cis het woman, so I try to stay in my little cis het lane.
Okay.
I try to stay in my little cis het lane. So I'm not gonna speak about the cause for the people. I know the LGBTQ plus community had some of them had issues, but I just want y'all to know I stand by the queen by any means necessary.
We stand by the queen.
If they over there could stand with Queen Elizabeth, I could stand with Queen Beyonce.
We can stand with the queen.
I stand with the queen.
Listen,
by any means.
They were saying, well, you saw when Blue Ivy was wiggling and rolling? And she said, She said,
by Kelly's rolling. Blue said Kelly's rolling. Beyonce said, this is not your show.
I'm not trying to get you out of the Dubai jail. It's not gonna happen. it's not gonna happen.
Not the time or the place.
It's not the time or the place. But I was living for it.
But for Dubai, okay, and then y'all, I know y'all want to get to the reading. For Dubai, boy, 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 boy. Oh, killing me softly and not all in. Still the one I need. I will always be with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you for that, for
welcome.
blessing us with that. And so be ready when you're at the concert and she bend that mic down.
If
Be ready.
Beyonce, if Beyonce put the mic next to the person next to me, I'm gonna be on the side like, oi, oi.
Not on the
That'll be
side.
sick of me. If she put it next to, it could be 3 people down. I'm gonna be over there, oi, oi. I'm gonna get my 2 seconds with Beyonce. I'm getting my 2 seconds. That'll be sick of me.
Listen, okay, that has me hollering, and she will. So y'all be ready, please. We do not need to see her on the Megatron, leaning across the people, hollering.
Y'all gonna see me like Megatron,
all up in the microphone. Exactly. Okay, y'all. Well, we are here today to discuss and review the reading starring Monique, and what I understand from it is this is their Monique and Lee Daniels kind of rekindling their friendship flame project, and we're happy to see it. We're glad to know that we can have conflict resolution because Monique fought like Miss Sophia all her life. She fought with everything she had. Shoulders, knees, toes, elbows, everything.
and I love her for it. Stand 10 toes down, Queen Monique.
Stand 10 toes down.
Call
She
them all
did.
out. She stood on it.
And her story did not change. Her story didn't change. She said, I'm going on a national tour of tearing their asses up. On a national tour.
Wiping everybody's reputation out. I'm going to just say this. You ain't going to catch me speaking ill on Monique's name, okay? Monique, I want you to know I'm your friend. I'm on your side, sis. You won't catch me speaking crazy about you. Okay, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no beef. If y'all ain't learned nothing else from Monique, what you did learn was you don't want no problem. Okay.
No problem. Cause she ready. She ready. She stayed ready. And so we appreciate the fervor. We appreciate the consistency. And I'm glad that they are able to work together because they have 2 projects, right? I think it's
Precious.
this one. No. New ones. Like it's this one. It's another one that she's doing with him that I think he's actually directing.
I wasn't aware. That's going to be good. As we can see by the reading, they are a dynamic duo for real. They are a partnership. They are a partnership.
I agree. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. So, right off,
Darcell, hold on. Before we get into it, I just want to say this. I came on behalf of the wellness community, and I just wanted to say to you, square up, because we finna windmill, Darcell. We about to windmill, Darcell. We about to windmill.
You think we gonna windmill?
Oh, we windmilling now. Because what you did not tell me was that this was a horror. What you did not tell me was that I was about to watch Saw 3 Jeepers Creepers. You did not tell me this was Scream 2.0. Darcell, we were not ready. Myself and the wellness community, we was doing a Zoom discussion last night about Zora Neale Hurston claiming a space. So we was having a Zoom party discussion about that last night. And I said, y'all, me and Darcell supposed to do a review tomorrow of the reading. And this was my wrap up. We supposed to do a review tomorrow of the reading. I said, so, we going to watch it and y'all go watch it and then let me know what y'all think. I said, matter of fact, let me see if we could do a watch party. Darcell at work, we did a watch party. As we are into the movie, literally, we all in the Zoom chat. What the hell? What is this? Darcell pulled the wool down. Lee Daniels and Monique, y'all pulled the wool down because that trailer was nothing like what the movie was.
No.
So what did you go into the movie thinking it was going to be?
Well, one, I went in thinking that it was gonna give, like, we trying to figure out and find the people that hurt her. I thought it was gonna give that, but I felt in my spirit that it was gonna be a little bit horrific. I felt that. I felt you
Darcell,
didn't pick that up.
so I didn't read anything about. I don't like before I watch anything. I try not to read like any synopsis or summary or anything
Right.
like that. For the reading, all I saw was the trailer that Monique had posted. I went in thinking this was about to be about Monique going to get a reading, and the girl who does the reading gets possessed. So I thought it was going to be
Yes.
like about a bad reading. That's
Yes.
what I went in
Yes.
thinking. Not thinking. I thought maybe it was going to be like a little suspense. I was ready for a
A
little
little
suspense,
suspense.
some
Right.
spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Darcell, please get
No.
into the movie, please.
So we start off already. I'm struck because we have Monique hair laid, face beat, looking great. And she hugs her husband. And I was a little shocked. I was a little taken aback.
Why would you take it back, Darcell? Why would
you
you taking
know,
it back?
I just didn't expect that to be her husband. That's all. And that's
Why?
okay. There's nothing
Why?
about it. He was, fluorescent beige.
Not fluorescent beige, baby. He was veneer white. Okay, veneer white.
He was veneer white, and I was like, oh, okay. But and then at first I was like, this is like it's some. I knew something was amiss because I was like, I just don't feel y'all together. So they come in, honey. She hugging her children. It's nice. She's having a romantic moment with her husband. Everything's good. And then she goes in there. She's cooking. I think she's what? Listen, like Betty Wright or somebody. Who is she listening to?
Something old and black. Somebody old and black. I don't know.
Somebody. It was your typical mama in the kitchen, aunties in the kitchen, cooking, singing, dancing, honey, chopping up the
One
food.
of those
the
that make you
carrots.
do this with your drink.
Yeah.
One of those songs that make you do this. You got to swirl the drink.
Yeah, and rest your other hand on your belly. And then the music was loud, and you see the door open, the front door open. Ain't got no alarms. It got no beep, 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 front door. That's why y'all need to get the systems. Get the alarm systems. Let the people get the ring cameras. Get the things to let the people know. The door opens, and in walks 5 masked men. Now, I wasn't ready for this. I was not ready for this. I thought they were just going to do a good old, like, steal, a good old heist.
Honey, they came in biblical, steal, kill, and destroy. Okay, they came in biblical. Steal, kill, and destroy.
Drowning the baby, hitting the husband on the head with a hammer, smothering the other one, and literally beating Monique with an inch of her life. That had me gagged. I was not prepared for that.
Cut the finger off.
And cut the finger. And came back with a stool, allegedly.
Or so we think.
So immediately I'm shocked. I'm traumatized. I said, this was intense. I was screaming. I was like, girl. But even before that, I'm like, Monique, girl, your spirit ain't sensing these people behind you, girl.
It did though, because remember she turned the music down. She said, Alexa, turn the music down. And she felt something and she stopped.
Right. Okay, but then she said, turn it back up. Girl. To the left. Let's look around. Okay. So I was sitting up there. I was like, okay, y'all, well, this is too much. Okay. I was screaming, hollering, not ready. And then I believe after that, we jumped to, I think we start talking to is this when we start talking to the kids? We see the kids. Uh-oh. She not here. You here? She not here. Okay, never mind. I'm going to continue. Y'all pray. Keep Queen Poe in her in your prayers. We having some technical difficulties, y'all.
I don't.
We jump over to hold up. I may have to put her backstage till she ready.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I hear
Nah,
you. I
yes.
hear
I
you.
can't hear you. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. My AirPods is connected. My volume is up. I have no idea what's happening. But you keep on explaining the movie and I'm gonna
And
figure
come
it out.
back in.
Okay.
Okay. And so while she getting that together, so then y'all, we run into these kids, right? They're kids because I guess they're in college, right? And you find out that we have the girl, I think her name was Sky, right? And Sky was a reader or a medium, okay? Now, this is the thing for me. And I wish Queen Poe would hurry up and run in here. But this is the thing for me. If you need CNAs, blood pressure cups, heart monitors, medicines to conduct your readings, find somebody else to do it. Find somebody else to do it. If you need to be hooked up, wire up with the ambulance, girl, all of this stuff on you to conduct your sessions in case it goes haywire, your session should not run you the risk of a heart attack. It should not run the risk of a heart attack, y'all. I was like, they need the heart monitor. She got to check the pulse, girl. Check her heart rate steady, her oxygen level high. I'm like, what? And so we find out that they do this for money. That she's an actual reader, and they have a show, I guess, where they record because they had a camera there, cameraman, all of this. And she's an actual listen, needed life alert. Needed life alert. I thought I was the only one thinking this too much. No, you're not the only one. Needing a life alert, all of this stuff to conduct these sessions. I said, girl, this is life telling you that you shouldn't do this. This is life. This is life telling you, girl, you shouldn't do this. So they had a production, so they make money off of this. And from what I understood, Sister Woman was really gifted, right? Really gifted, really tapped in. And so she's doing this reading with this boy, this one guy, and this is when the things start to go sideways. It starts to go sideways because she senses like an evil waiting in the distance. She's giving the boy a reading on his mama. She got the 3 candles lit, honey. The blood pressure cups on, her oxygen on, her EKGs on. Yeah. Okay. And she's giving the boy a reading, and she starts to notice that something is amiss in the distance. Her spirit is interrupted. She starts staring out, doing all this stuff, and she comes back too. Now, this is the thing, y'all. I never had no stuff like that happen. I can't speak for the other mediums and the other readers on there. I never had nothing like that happen. I'm telling you right now, if something like that start happening, okay, I'm done. I'm done. It's over. You can just go ahead and forget about that. You can go ahead and forget about it because I'm done. And then it was his mama trying to stop. It was his mom. Okay, hold on. Here she go. Are you back in the building?
I feel like I'm back. Am I back?
Yes, you are back.
Am I?
So let me go back a little bit, because I need your commentary on this.
Okay, let me know where we at.
We're talking about her. We're with when she was doing the first reading with the boy, with the
with the
white
boy.
boy. But I
Mm-hmm.
have to say this, Paul. If you need blood pressure cups, EKGs, oxygen tubes, and all types of a CNA and medical equipment to do your sessions, I just don't know if you should, if you need to be doing all that, girl.
I don't know if this might not be your necessary calling.
This
This might not be. This is not your ministry, sis. Go over there to the. You need to be in the singles ministry because that nigga you got ain't no good.
trash,
Okay,
pimping you,
pimping you.
pimping
You
you.
need to be over there in the singles ministry while you're over here trying to be a prophetess.
Right. Let's
Okay,
be clear. You need to be in the not the singles ministry, girl.
Go to the singles ministry.
You need to be in the singles ministry.
That was not it. But she was scamming. She was scamming. And a part of me feels like the reason she was struggling so much with truly tapping into her gift, or rather say maintaining her wellness with her gift, the reason she was struggling so much to maintain her wellness is because you was doing wrong. You was doing wrong, so that gift was eating you up. You pimping the gift, and the gift is going to pimp your wellness.
Yes. Yes. What in the Miss Cleo is going on here?
Oh, we said the same thing. In the wellness community, we said the same thing.
Listen, this is the second time this lesson has come out this year. Within a year's time. The second time.
Third time. I need you to go watch Zora Neale Hurston doc. That's the conversation the people ain't ready for. That's the conversation the people ain't ready for the third time. Because I need you to go watch that Zora Neale Hurston doc.
Okay. I'm going to watch that tonight.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah.
But the scamming, the integrity, y'all. Please. You can't be doing this. Your body falling apart. You got to have oxygen on. You got to have a 911 on standby. You need a CNA. This is ridiculous. So, and then we said, he's talking, she's reading the boy, allegedly reading the boy. And this is when we notice something's amiss. She starts seeing something in the distance.
So, okay, this is where, because for me, after we watched it, me and the community, we had to come together and say, what did y'all see? What did y'all notice? We had to unpack some things. So when you're saying when she was reading the boy, the white boy,
yes.
She saw something in the mist.
Yeah, because
what was it that you think she saw?
But this is a greater issue for me because I don't know. I don't know. Because the thing is, she said that they were getting close to her, that they were getting too close to her, like almost touching her, like becoming too real. So that's why I think the sister was tapped in and gifted.
Yeah.
But she was like, they're getting too close to me. Like, this is overwhelming. I don't know. I kind of feel like it was just like a sort of a misdirection type of thing.
What
like
do you mean?
to like throw us off, like a writing technique to throw us off, because I don't know what that is. What did you think it was?
I thought that maybe, so this is the thing. I'm going to be honest. For me, when I was watching it, I had my own thoughts, of course. And then the wellness community, we discussed it after. And I was getting a lot of different opinions, which I'm going to share my opinions and some of theirs. And I realized some of my opinions shifted after hearing them, because I missed quite a much. I missed quite a much. Okay, quite a bit. What I thought was happening for me, I thought that she was doing the reading for the boy. She was really channeling. She was really connecting with spirit. But the whole thing was, when these spirits, if the spirit touches her, then she could essentially take them in. She could become possessed or mounted by the spirit. So when she was saying like, oh, they almost touched me, I thought she was talking about the spirits that she channeled for the boy, not necessarily like an outside entity or a demon or anything like that. I thought that's what she was speaking of in that case.
Me too. So, that's my initial thought. I thought it was the boy's mother.
Right. So I felt like what the writers were trying to insinuate or kind of like infer was, this girl has a spiritual gift, and when she's channeling, if the spirits touch her, she could be mounted, which then comes into play later in the film.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And so I agree, but I was like, why they look like? I mean, these spirits are so up, girl. They should not be looking like this. They were coming out of the crib. I said, what in the Crypt Keeper is going on? But then we cut back now to Monique, who is on the show. She's promoting her book. She has a book out now based upon her experience, based upon the alleged invasion, home invasion. Now, can we get into Monique's acting here?
Honey, let me tell you. The queen is back in the mother building. When the queen comes to town, everything shuts down. Past the Oscars, past the Tonys. Put Monique on Broadway. She deserves it all. Monique is the queen dame. Okay? When it comes to acting, who else?
She did it.
And I love me. I'm not trying to, compare her or pit her against any other woman, especially a Black woman. But I just want to say, when it comes to a crying scene, honey, when it comes to a crying scene,
she's on it.
I was running through the gamut of good criers. You got Viola with the snot. Viola gonna give it. Kimberly Elise, I need that money. Kimberly Elise gonna give you a little something. It's a few people.
What about Kerry Washington? Wait a minute. Wait. Why I gotta put you big?
My son. I need my son. You know American Son on that. My son. Carrie. You know how Carrie gonna give it to you.
She gonna give it to you just like that.
Angela cries with dignity. Somebody said Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett cries with dignity.
It's a dignified cry. The head is up. The head is not down.
Head is up. And I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more. That voice gonna go, I don't want you no more.
It's rooted. It's deep.
And let's not forget having my kids in the school with all these 2 other Black students because you don't want them to be improperly influenced. Well, guess what, John? You're the mother improper influence. Get you. Angela is that girl.
She's that girl. But Monique ate this up.
I don't. You know what Monique masters? Monique masters that stutter talk cry. And that's what's relatable. She does that stutter. Who gonna want me? Who gonna want me? He told me to shut my fat ass up. So what did you do? I shut my fat ass up. Who gonna want me? Who gonna love me? She masters that.
Who? She's in it. She's in it. And so when she was on that stage and she had the speech impediment that seemed to be stemming from like brain damage or something of the nature, it's for what my family. I said act. And now she had an Oprah ponytail. It was up. Slick. Okay.
Let's get into the edges in the kitchen. The edges in the kitchen. I told the community, I said, y'all, they made Monique look like a real Black woman. That kitchen was kitchening. Kitchen was kitchening. I said, babes, they made you look like you done been through some things, huh?
Authentic. They said authentic. We want authentic. Authentic. Baby, she got to her house, honey, and let me tell you something. She had it locked down like Fort Knox. Fort Knox. She came in looking around, honey, hit a button, a code, everything shut down.
So this is when I was like, okay, something is happening because, initially, I was aloof. I was unaware. I had no idea what was. I'm still believing at this time that this was a home invasion. These people that came in. Monique is living through trauma. Now, the community said that they felt like the sister-in-law, who's her assistant, which I also missed that. I didn't even realize that she was the sister-in-law, but the assistant, the white girl. Yes. Yeah, they said that the white girl, the assistant, they felt like she was the one who set up the home invasion because she was really pushing this reading. She was pushing it. I didn't suspect that.
I didn't expect. Well, and I also thought that, oh, what's gonna happen is because because by the poster I was like, Monique gonna go crazy. So I was expecting, we said that the girl got possessed, but I thought the entity was gonna hop into Monique. That's what I
Mm,
thought. So when
okay.
she had it locked down, I said, "Oh gosh, she is gonna get possessed. The lights gonna go out, and it's gonna hear system lock." And now the entity is going crazy in it. That's what I was expecting. But at this point, I'm like, look, she walk again, acting, the cane, the body, the movement. She was in it. I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand that agent girl. I
Yeah,
couldn't stand her.
yeah, she was too much.
She
She was
was.
too
She was
much.
too much.
But the thing is also, not only was the agent annoying and, aggravating,
Mm-hmm.
homegirl friends and the boyfriend. The two, the Sky. So the reader, her name is Sky, I believe. The girl
Sky.
who does the
Yeah.
reading. Sky, her boyfriend, and the two friends for me
Horrible.
were too much because the whole time the boyfriend and the assistant is communicating about Sky doing this reading. So that was another thing I didn't understand about Sky is why is your boyfriend communicating and pimping out your gift? Why is he putting you up for sale? For your get, I didn't understand that part. I was like, why is he coming to her with this offer from Monique and the assistant? I didn't get
Did it didn't make sense. Well, and that's why I'm like, girl, like you can be gifted, but you don't be righteous. That's what we be trying to tell y'all. Because this was literally, if you're really about helping the people and stuff like this, it was like she was like the prize, but it almost made me feel like she was like already sort of debilitated to the point like she's just so sensitive spiritually that they have to speak like, she has to have this team. He has to speak for her, and it kind of helps sell, I think, this image that this is like some real intense stuff.
And she was saying, she kept saying, because she did warn him about, the goings ons, that she was feeling tense. She wasn't feeling right. She was feeling like something was wrong. She kept warning him that she was
She
feeling
did.
off. And,
Yes,
when
yes.
he brought her this idea that, like, hey, it's a reading for $100,000, they want a session for $100,000, she didn't want to do it until she heard Mama selling
In
them goods.
there, dropping it low, spreading it wide for it
Mama
to
was
keep the
in there.
bills up.
She said she don't need Uncle Clifford. She don't need the Pank. She was given a Mercedes Experience private room.
Yes, yes. But wait, Queen, I gotta point this out. Now, Sister Woman said we could get no, the boyfriend said we could get they're offering 20,000. And then he
Mm,
said, but with that, I know we can push them further and we could get 100,000.
mm.
And so I'm like, sis, integrity though.
The integrity was
Integrity
lacking. The
was
integrity was
lacking.
lacking.
And then you have the environmental pressures and things like that happens because of like the mom paying the bills and all of that going on. And so she just said, let's just go for it. I don't
And
know.
see,
Mm-hmm.
this is an important part. This is an important part right here because we are aware that Sky herself is in a desperate situation where she is coming from a poor family. She's clearly must be coming from like a single mother background. Her mother is essentially prostituting herself.
Yeah.
Sky hears her mother getting banged out. She done told the boyfriend no, she didn't want to do it. She hear her mother's getting banged out, tossed up, flipped, turned upside down, and Ben Rames baby boy throughout the room, buddy hopping across the room. She hears her mama getting took down, and Sky says, And she picked up the phone and said, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Right.
She wanted to go through with the reading so she could get herself out of that situation that she was in.
Yes, yes. And that's why part of me is like, yes, integrity, but you can see how people's integrity is compromised by way of their
The
situations.
situation.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's it. And so she went ahead against, however, her intuition,
Mm-hmm.
against her gift.
Mm-hmm.
She went ahead and went with it, honey. They pulled up to the place. First of all, I said this house is vicious.
The house was gorgeous. Okay, that was a Miss Cleo house. I told you Miss Cleo had a front, back, and side yards. Monique was working with the same. Monique had the front, back, and side yards, honey. She had the wings of the house. Okay.
Right, she did. She had the wings to the house. Wings.
She had that Patti LaBelle. Okay, yes. She had the wings to the house. I said, you better go ahead, Monique.
And then they went in there, honey, and went to talk to her and everything. And I'm gonna say we just talking about the story right now because I have other thoughts along. We'll have that after a while.
Okay, yeah.
But so went in meeting her. She's coming down the stairs. I said, "Ooh, child." I said, "Don't y'all think y'all should start talking? She's on her way. Just start talking. Don't wait till she get down. Because by the time she make it down there, girl, I'm like, we just in an awkward space. But yeah, the lady is pushing the interview, pushing this, strictly about the business, strictly about the funds. And then this is the part for me, though. They go and Sky asked to look around, to walk around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand people go around and you want to pick up the energy, but girl, this kind of scammy. It's a little scammy.
You go around the house, yeah.
It's kind of scammy. You want to go into the bedroom. I know you can pick up. I understand that, but even when that happens, the people will bring an item or something. Like this is my daughter's ring. But you going around the house, honey, looking at the clothes, picking up the picture. I'm like, girl, this is getting scammy. It's a little scammy. It's giving scam energy. But then Monique crying out, the acting, here it goes. The weeping. Crying. I was like, oh my God, please get her the help she needs. Get her the help she needs.
I love Monique the way Monique do that. That nod, I was like, oh shoot.
And the sniffing in.
I was like, masterclass, honey.
And now this is the part for me because we actually get to the they noticed something's off. They said, I can't get the guy that was filming said, I can't get a Wi-Fi signal. I can't get a signal in the house.
Oh.
He said, I can't get a signal. And lady was like, well, as long as you get a recording, I get what I paid for. I'm like, girl, here she go. But he said, why is there? Now, nobody was thinking though. Because my mind would have said, girl, you got all this high-tech ass shit. You got a Wi-Fi signal? Why wouldn't you have that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have a signal?
Yeah.
I said, okay, that's strange. And so we get to the actual reading. Now, as come on, medium energy, mediums, readers. First of all, girl, if you was end up possessed, that was your fault. I don't see no incense. I don't see no ritual. I don't see no protection. I don't see nothing.
Nothing. Girl, your head ain't covered. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening for protection.
There's nothing.
Nothing. You got a nigga who pimping you out. You got a homegirl who don't got now bit of nothing, no herbs, no nothing burning, no smudging. You got a white boy recording. What are you doing?
What are you doing? And 3 candles that didn't burn down. I said, girl, is these the Hobby Lobby candles? These the Michael's candles?
What is this?
A show.
What is this?
It's a show. It's a show because I'm like, you don't have no protection. And with her knowing that her energy was like, or this is a high stakes case or a high stakes session. She didn't have.
If somebody paying you $100,000, you know it's a high stakes session. If somebody is paying you $100,000, you know that this is something.
No cleansing of the space, no nothing. She didn't do nothing.
Nothing, Chichi.
They said the white boy recorded.
White boy recorded.
Listen, you didn't do no nothing. And so one thing for those of y'all that are, or those of us that are readers, channelers, mediums, whatever you call yourself, honey, please.
I'm sorry. Can you put that back up? I ain't never seen somebody put same thing like that. Same thing. One word. Go ahead, Sacred Lotus. Same thing I said. I heard that. Same thing
That's
I
said. Listen, this is the Black experience. Same thing. Same thing I said.
Same thing.
Oh, that's a new
One
one
word.
now.
We say
That's a new.
something. She said same thing.
She said same thing I said. But y'all have when y'all go. I love the peoples. I love the blacks. We just give the things. But when y'all go into these spaces and doing these sessions for these folks, have your herbs, have your coverings, have your protection, cleanse the space. This is the basics. And if you
Right.
don't know the basics, you probably shouldn't be doing this.
Thanks.
Education matters, girl. You going into a place where murders have occurred,
Yes.
and you're just in there, girl. With what kind of hairstyle? She had braids. She had something else.
I think those are called like fairy braids or fairy locks, where I think it's fairy
Yes,
braids where they have like the little whisper hair. And I wanted to say, and it was knotless too. Sis hair was so cute.
honey,
Sky
with the
hair was so
gold.
cute. Now, friend with the struggle ponytail was not, but Sky hair with the braids, and she had like the cowrie shells, and it was like the little fairy loose pieces, was everything. Boyfriend with the bang locks, I was not feeling that. He had the side swoop locks. I was not feeling that. Sky was the only one.
Yes,
The only one who was laid hair wise.
yes,
But
her hair was laid. Mm-hmm.
shout out to Shady Max. And tell me if you noticed this, Darcell. We had no choice but to notice because Shady Max kept on pointing out Sky nails and how her nails wasn't right. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it. Her nails wasn't right.
Sky was overdue for a filling. I didn't know. Max kept on pointing out how Sky nails was messed up, but it's because she was struggling with the readings. She was struggling with the readings. I don't know.
The self-care diminished because of that. This is why you must take care of self. Help self, nurture self. I didn't notice that, but now I have to go back and see. I have to go back and see. Now, but this when we start to get interesting. They're at this table. Start breathing. Say their names. I say, now, did y'all talk to anybody that does this, girl? Say their names. Say it again.
Beyonce. Beyonce. Say my name.
Say my name. Really say it this time, but like really put some more emphasis on that name. Try it again. Say their name. It's like,
I was in the room like, yeah. I was like, why does she keep saying say their names, girl? You got me ready. Like, what?
Now, but then this is where I got gagged, because when she had the girl doing that, you heard the footsteps running upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And Monique was like, how did you do that? She said, wait a minute, bitch. Wait a minute. How did you do that now? How did you have the people running?
Now you don't even know what I'm about to do to you. You set me up in my own shit. Like, what is this?
Right. Now, but this is what because you see, I really felt Monique was deeply affected by the information the sister was spitting.
So that's when we start getting into the theories of what do you think really happened, which we'll get to at the end once we go through the film. But in that moment, what I do believe is that Sky, of course, was really channeling. Yes. I do feel like Monique was caught off guard by the energy that was present. Yes. I also feel like the assistant in her mind initially, because remember there was two separate moments. The initial connection and channeling, I felt like the assistant was too shocked, but she thought she was getting over regardless.
Yes, right.
You know,
right.
Yeah. Somebody said, I think it's Phoenix Goddess said Mo noticed that she was the real deal. Yes, and that's what I feel. I feel like in that moment, Monique realized, like, oh, this girl really do got a gift. Yeah, she really do, because we got to keep in mind that Monique and Sky, the actual reader, are not in communication. It's the agent and the boyfriend who are setting this up.
Yes. And she got overwhelmed. And when she walked out, Even the angel was like, "Oh, you're good. Okay, girl." And walked in there and told a completely different story to Monique, saying, "Oh, I told them all of that." Only to get her back in there. That was the only point of her line, and saying she told her all that information.
Right.
Just to get her back in, which lets us know, one, how these people in the industry be doing, folks. The people be here for the coin. They will manipulate you and do whatever it is they need to do to get the coin. So you gotta watch them.
Right,
You gotta
right,
watch
right.
them.
Because yeah, somebody said in the chat that she was doing it because it was good for the book, and that's really what it was. I think in the agent's mind, she was like, "Okay, we're gonna catch this on camera. We're gonna catch her channeling these energies. We're gonna have a reaction from what was Monique's character, Emma. We're gonna have a
Emma.
reaction from Emma, who's Monique's character, and Emma gonna sit up here, have a response, and we're gonna be able to use this as publicity." I
Yes.
don't think Monique thought that this girl was really gonna connect. And not only
Mm-mm.
connect, but connect the way Sky did. And I get into that, Darcell, how deep Sky was connecting.
Let me tell you something. She started going. She was repeated. She was saying certain things. She was like, "Your favorite color is teal, not turquoise, not blue, specifically teal." I said, "Wait a minute, girl. She's in. She's in. She's in." What's his name? What's the baby? Kendall. Is that or I can't think of the little boy's name,
The
but
baby.
the baby. I used to argue with you about his rain boots. He loved to wear his rain boots all the time. And you would always tell him like it wasn't the right time to wear. You need to, it's not rain outside, all this stuff. Start spitting conversations out. But then she started going deeper. And this is when we start to really switch into this. Oh, wait a minute, girl. Something is wrong. She started getting the veins popping out. The veins popping out the head. She comes back up. "Hey, how you doing? Sid, I heard you." She started mimicking phone conversations. You hear typing in the other room.
Wait,
Girl.
what was that before or after the break though? Because remember when she started channeling deep and like telling Emma, Monique's character, facts about the family. Remember Monique got up and walked off and went into the kitchen because she started panicking.
Oh,
Because she
yes.
realized this
Right.
girl is truly connected. And then the assistant came in, and Monique is like, in shock. And the assistant tried to throw Monique off and say, "No, I gave her these facts to make it look good for the camera." But in
Right.
actuality, they both knew that Sky was really connected. Monique knew that Sky was connecting, and the assistant threw her off and said, "No, she's not really connecting. I gave her those facts," which then made Monique say, "Okay, well, let's go back and finish up." And then they sat there at the
Yes.
table to finish up, and Sky connected back again. And
Again.
that's when it hit.
And the thing was, Sky started saying things that Monique didn't say.
Mm-hmm.
Sky started speaking or singing the song, girl.
The good
The
drink
song, the good drink song. I didn't tell anybody about that song. Oh,
So for anybody who didn't see it, the song that Monique was listening to when the whole murder first happened, when her family first got killed, remember the opening scene? We told y'all she's listening to a song, it's playing, the husband is in the room typing, the son is in the bathtub, the daughter is laying in the bed talking on the phone with her friend. Sky is now channeling this whole moment, and she starts singing the song that Monique was listening to, which let Monique know that she was in that moment. Then they start hearing typing, which let her know that her husband's spirit was present because he was typing before he got killed. So now Monique knows this is the real deal.
Yes.
This is the real deal.
And in the midst, now this is the part where I'm like, why was, the channeling so violent? Sister girl's back started cracking.
And that was the part for me that I was like, I was like, what is this? What was the reason? I felt like Cardi B. What was the reason?
What was the reason? That was strange to me. Especially because I'm like, okay, where would the demon be, girl?
And that's
where would it be?
Like I said, for me, before I even saw the film, all I saw was the trailer. Because they showed that in the trailer is why I thought that the movie was going to be about this girl who was a reader getting possessed and stuff like. What was the significance of having her actually have a gift and really tapping into energy? What was the significance of having all that in the veins popping out and stuff? Like, it was just dramatic effect. Like,
it was dramatic effect, and this is the critiques. It's dramatic effect, and it went on too long.
Too long.
It was too long. I was like, girl, and that's what I'm saying. She's like, hello, I went back to the. I could see the difference. I'm like, girl, we get it. Okay. What is it? At this point, you were saying you was afraid of people touching you. The whole family must be dog pile on top of your head, girl.
Like you getting jumped in the spirit.
You getting jumped because there's no reason. And that was too much. It was too much. And that's my thing. The dramatics was too much, the veins. And that's what I said earlier. Even with seeing the spirits getting too close to her, that doesn't really have relevance.
Well, so we'll get to that at the end because the community has theories. Now, let me ask you this, okay? Because somebody mentioned it in the chat. In that moment, when Sky is channeling, so family, I did not go back and watch it a second time. I ain't had time today, okay? But I did get 2 workouts in today. Be proud of me.
Come on.
Okay?
I can see it, girl. I can see it.
If you see it in my clavicle.
It's in your clavicle.
What about this? Look at it.
It's out.
Wait, hold on.
Boom.
You see it?
Boom. Boom.
Y'all better watch out. It's sharp. You better watch out. Watch out. But yes, I didn't get a chance to go back and watch it a second time. But did you see an entity in the corner? The community said that when she was doing the reading for Monique and she was really channeling heavy, she looked over in the corner and there was something in the corner. Did you see that?
I didn't see that there was anything in the corner. I saw her look over there and the music and stuff indicated that she was seeing something. But that's the same. It was the same thing as when she was channeling for the boy earlier.
So what was that?
That's what I'm trying to say. I think it was misdirection, girl. It was misdirection because I'm like, but it wasn't skillful misdirection, I'll say, because we're looking for it to be an entity for something, because if anything, she should have looked over there and saw the little girl.
Something.
Anything. And the little girl perhaps pointing at the mom and her being like, Dun. You did it, you lying at me. Something like that. But it was just strange. It just felt like and it went on too long. Like, again, it was too long. Like she was spitting. I said,
when she was channeling. Now this is when it got good for me. And I was like, oh, when she was channeling the little boy and how he died and the water spilled out her mouth.
Yeah.
That's when Monique got up.
That's when she got up. She said, okay, wait a minute.
She in there.
She in it. And they was like, stop her. You need to stop her.
And she was like, because now they checking her blood pressure, her pulse, and all the things.
The girlfriend is cold blue coding, and she's out.
And they like, you need to stop it. And they don't know how to stop it because she's deep in trance. By this point, by the time they freaking out over how Sky gets, Monique is already locking them doors.
They heard.
This is when I was like, what Darcell got me watching? Because this is when the movie done took a turn, okay? This is when it really took a turn. When Monique cracked them doors and I heard that damn Undertaker music, dum-dum. I said...
Nothing. And Monique was sitting there. House locked down. And so then the friend with the ponytail was like, is she locking the doors? The agent, that is not what she's doing. Now the acting started to suffer here for me. The acting started to suffer. Well, not just here, but I was like, okay, girl. I'm talking about no, never for Monique. I'm talking about the agent, that whole everybody in that room. Once Monique was out, I said, girl, get it going. You tone your voice down, little girl. Like,
I
come
just want to
on.
say, Lee Daniels, if you just so ever happen to see this, Darcell and I are prepared for the next
We're
scene.
ready.
We are ready.
We
We
are
are ready.
ready.
How you need me to cry?
Yeah.
What you need me to do? We are. If you are looking for actors, okay, we
Yes,
are here.
we are
Because
here.
clearly, the auditions is
It was
what you need
slim
me to do.
pickings. It had to be slim pickings. But baby, she was not responding to anything they were saying. Girl, she said, the boyfriend decides it's time for me to be a man now. Hey, lady, you need to open up these doors. Baby Monique had her cute little pew pew. Pow! Close range.
In the
Laid
chest.
him out in the chest. And my wig was blown back. But I'm going to tell you this straight up. When she came in there creeping around with the cane, all of us would have jumped her, girl.
But wait, by this point, has she released the act? By the time she shot the boyfriend, she had released the act at that point, didn't she?
What do you
Not
mean?
yet.
No, yeah, no. She had just shot him. Like
Uh-huh.
we haven't seen her broken yet. She ain't released it yet. Cause she walked back in there and sat down. Remember, she
Okay.
walked back in there and
And
sat down.
sat down. Oh
And sat
yeah.
down
Okay.
with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started boogeyman girl and scared everybody in the room. But when I would not have let her got a whole monologue out, laughing and giggling. I said, seize her. I feel like Game of Thrones. Seize her.
Listen, my thing was, and this is where again the theories come into play, because
monkey stomp. Wait, girl.
the
Look.
only way that makes not a monkey stomp, but the only way it would make sense that they didn't react or do anything is if somebody in the crew was in on it, specifically Sky. Because why would y'all not respond or react? Once y'all realize y'all are all locked in the house, why are all of y'all not freaking out and turning up? Why are y'all sitting at the table and allowing her to get out this whole speech? And then when she get to the assistant, how she did that.
Get to the assistant. Baby. Well, first of all, she told her, go ahead. Tell your friends. Tell your friends what you saw. Oh, why y'all can't leave? Cause she killed her family. Then
shocked. I shocked. I was not ready. I was not prepared. There was no indication, and maybe I'm just a little basic bitch, but I had no indication, no inkling that Monique was the person who did that to the family. Much like Darcell described, I thought that, it was a home invasion, and then the family was saying, well, the assistant must have did it. I had no idea until that moment where she locked them doors and she shot the boyfriend, that I was like, did she do this?
Baby. And again, acting. When they went through and showed the clips of her killing everybody and then beating herself
and cutting off her own finger. She had the towel in her mouth. It was like, you could do this.
She was like, I was like, it shook me. I was shook at that part because I said, oh my God, like this is disturbing.
That girl. It's disturbing. And at that point, we're in full-blown horror.
We're in full-blown horror. Full-blown horror. And she went and shot, boom, shot the assistant and went down to her. But now this is the thing. That was a 6-shooter. She did not have that many bullets ready. She didn't have that many bullets. She was shooting a lot of bullets throughout the rest of the movie.
She had bullets in her bra. Remember, she kept reaching in her bra and pulling out bullets. That's why I
She
would
did,
keep mine.
she did it once, girl, and she put out one and put it in there. So I'm just gonna assume, okay, I'm gonna assume, but she did shoot one time, 6 or 7 times in a row, girl. So I was like, girl, you got all of them stacked up in that whole breast made of bullets, girl.
I listen. I could put an AK worth of bullets
You
up
know
in here.
what?
Okay?
This is true. I seen the video of the girls, honey, full vodka and Cavassier bottles, girl, and the thing. So maybe so. Maybe
Keep
it's
playing.
me.
I might pull a grown ass nigga out of here. You never know. Okay, you don't know what's gonna come out. Okay?
Baby, she went up to her, was looking her dead in the face, kissed her forehead, and shot her dead twice.
The assistant.
Boom, boom, the assistant. And then before that, she started shooting everybody running. I said, oh my God. Now, this is when I start to be like, we're grateful Monique is in this. Because the scenes, I was like, girl, y'all, everybody else, maybe she needs to kill y'all. Because the way that y'all was trying to hide in the cupboard, girl, in the cupboard. In the cupboard, duck down. Come on. He in the kitchen, like, it was too melodramatic for me. I'm like, girl, this is Scooby-Doo.
Now I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real though. Darcell, I thought about it, and I'm not trying to take us to a somber place, but you know what I thought about when they had the Buffalo shooting in the grocery store? I really thought to myself, like, where would I hide in a grocery store? Where if somebody came in the grocery store and started shooting, I would be one of those people. I would not know where to go, what to do. The father saved his daughter by putting her in like the beer cooler or something like that. I would have never thought like that. So in a moment of panic, like what they was going through, I probably would be the one hiding in the cupboard. I would try to squeeze my big ass in a kitchen cabinet. I don't know. I am not the smartest cookie in a jar in a moment of panic. Okay.
This is true.
In a moment of panic, y'all need to just go ahead and say we gonna let Poe go. We gonna let Poe is not gonna make it. Just count me out. Okay?
We have to.
Oh
Lord!
Where do we go? I need guidance. Jesus, help me,
girl. Anywhere but in the next room, please. Y'all was in the dining room, girl. It's the kitchen. I just like, girl, upstairs in the closet, anything. But do you know what? I can understand that. You know what? We appreciate your optimism. We appreciate your optimism. But yeah, then now this for me is the part where I was like, all them dancing videos Monique been doing has paid off.
Woo.
Monique said,
Monique was giving us the Get Out run. Remember in Get Out when he was running straight to the camera?
And he said, and he cut that corner.
Monique was giving us the Get Out. Okay.
Quick. I was like,
and this is where Monique this is her film. This is her movie. Monique made this movie because when she started really taking on this full I am the killer character, Monique ate this up, honey.
I gotta give it to you motherfucking kids. Y'all gonna make Emma work for the kill. I can't stand you, young bitch. Always complaining all the motherfucking time. She ate it up. She ate it up. I said, Monique, she's that girl. And even her playing the more like psychotic, when she's like, la, 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 la. All this, I said.
So for those who don't know, she had a gun in one hand, a knife in the other. Yes. And there was a scene where she was clapping the gun and the knife together. Okay, it's giving very much Tanisha Bad Girls Club. I ain't getting no sleep because of y'all. Y'all not gonna get no sleep because of me. I said, not with the gun and the knife.
Yeah, okay? She had the gun and the knife, clanking it together
the whole time.
And it was crazy. She said, I would have let you go if it wasn't 5 of you.
If it was just one, if you would have just bought one, It would
I
have
would
been
have
my
paid
word against
y'all.
yours.
Yeah. Like the way that she was eating this up. And this is why I wish, and this is not no shade, but I wish that she had this character in a higher quality production. Because this would have been a blockbuster role, girl.
You know what? This is the thing. You know, as Black folks, we have these films that are amazing. They are dope, right?
Yes.
And then we get opportunity to get on big platforms,
Mhm.
and we don't necessarily fully deliver on that big platform that could give us the opportunity to get on the even bigger platform. And I say
Yes.
that simply because at the end of the day, this was a Lee Daniels production. And
Hmm.
I like Lee Daniels. I really do. Lee Daniels did Precious. Precious blew up, went to the Oscars. That took him, because Precious really was like underground. And then,
Yes.
it did well at the festivals and stuff, started making noise. Then it hit theaters and blew up. Boom. He gets the Oscar. They give him a daytime spot, or, on mainstream
Yes.
television, where he gets Fox, and he comes with Empire. Empire hit heavy and hard in the very beginning, then quickly went downhill quickly, and that L was very noticeable. Okay, now he's doing BET movies, and it's not that this film should have been, and no shade to BET, but let's be for real, this film should not have been a straight to an app BET movie. This
Yeah.
film as a whole, to me, was a great film. It was great.
Yes.
It was great. People would have went to the theaters to see this. This deserved to be on a big screen somewhere, and not just on BET Plus. And not just because of the plot and the storyline, but also because Monique acted her ass off in this movie.
That's the part. That's why I said that. That's the part.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's just me. It's just me. Am I running it? Darcell, did you die? Can y'all still see me, family? If so, let me continue. Okay, so essentially, Monique was eating the girls up. Okay, and the thing is,
Daniel trying to cut my trying to cut me down.
Lee Daniels trying to wipe you out. I was gonna keep
Me
going.
out.
I was
But
like, I don't know.
but what I was saying was, because there was a lot of moments where I'm like, come on, y'all. Like these cuts to these scenes, like, come on, like the pacing. I'm like, come on, like I'm like, that's a little cringy, girl. Like, come on with it. It was a lot of that. And unfortunately, it gave amateuristic qualities. And I don't know if it's because I do that.
I was gonna say that's because you are in film, you are deep into film. They said Emma took Darcell out.
Emma took me out, girl.
Emma took Darcell out. But that's probably because you are, you have studied film. See, I'm just a film lover. I'm a bit of a film buff. I haven't went to school and studied film. So
Right.
I don't know. But for me, I felt like I didn't personally have any cringy moments. I did feel like, as she was on the killing spree, and that's why I was going to ask, can we fast forward this part? Because at the end of the day, she just starts killing the kids. She's
Period.
chasing them throughout the house, and it's about, I would say, probably like a good 45 minutes of the kids trying to hide. She's finding the kids, hunting the kids down one by one, and starts killing the kids. And then finally, it's just her and Sky left. Well, we'll say it's her and the two girls, Sky and her friend, and then we could start from there. But for me, that part was a bit drawn out. Yeah. And I guess it was like the whole suspense of who's gonna make it out. Well, we didn't need that long of a chase and hunt down for
We got it.
Yeah, for these kids. We got the point. Yeah, they definitely dragged that on.
And that's my thing, to where I was like, this is, it could be it could be more effective. More
Even with them
effective.
dragging it on, though, it gave Monique more opportunity to
And that's what I
answer.
love. That's what I love. That's why I forgave, because I said Monique said now, and let's talk about this. When it was down to the two, right? It was Sky and her friend. And Sky says, you know what? We're gonna have to take a different approach. Your children, your children didn't deserve this. They loved you. Monique was like, them kids. And you too. I didn't want the mothers anyway.
So this is when, so at this point, what's occurring is, was the friend still alive at this point, or has she already done the friend?
The friend's still alive.
So the friend, so at this point, it's just Monique, Sky, and her friend. They are the only ones left. The Sky and the friend have come up with a plan, okay? And essentially the plan is they're gonna jump Monique. Now, Sky is trying to appeal to Monique and say, like, your kids didn't deserve this. You know, your kids they died loving you to the very end. And that's where Monique said, what, Darcell?
Them kids. And you too. I didn't want the mothers anyway.
And then that's when we find out why Monique did this. And she gives the whole monologue of why she killed her family.
Yeah, she said, again, environmental issue, just like Sky. Okay, come on, script. You know what? I'm going to give you some extra points on that wraparound because I didn't catch that till now. Okay.
I'm ready for us to get to the end so you can hear the theories of what the community said they think happened in the movie, because we all was split and torn.
Y'all was split.
I want to see what we was split and torn. But
yeah. And so she said that it was because they was going broke. She didn't want the kids. He wanted kids. And the promise was this luxurious life. Mm-hmm. That was the promise. And he was making stupid business decisions, stupid choices, and they was going to be broke. And she said she had to specify the broke. Not that I can't go on a vacation broke, but I got to move broke.
I gotta go back to the hood, bro.
And so therefore we, and I'm not going to be back in the hood. And so she said they had to die. And then she said, okay, I'm not going to chase y'all. I'm going to wait. Because, we've been running and doing all that stuff this whole time. I'm going to take my time and wait. Then they came down to that. This was the part for me where I said, good God Almighty. Y'all had to fight better than that. Y'all have to fight better than this. The one swing.
So when they were supposed to be jumping Monique, Sky and her friend, they supposed to be jumping her.
Yes.
What was the air punches that sis was doing wraparound air punches? And this is when the quality of the production that you was talking about came. Because I said, I don't know if they were supposed to look like they was hitting her, or was it really supposed to look like she was trying to swing and miss? But I'm gonna come from the side. Monique face is right here. The punches was here. The punches was all the way over here. The punches was about this far from Monique's actual face.
Right.
And that was the part for me that was just like, what? The quality of the fight scene was horrible.
It was low. And even before that, why do y'all have on her clothes? Why does she put on the sweater?
I didn't understand the significance of that either. Like putting her clothes on.
Yeah, it's like to make perhaps a distraction, make her mad because she only wants the money. Perhaps, but it wasn't effective, girl, because the fight was horrible. And I'm like, y'all supposed to fight for your life, girl. Swing, you got vases and chairs and all this stuff around here. And then it became a little like, again, it was hard. The quality was horrible. But then I was like, okay, now the girl ran and Monique did a linebacker tackle of this girl, caught her midair and ran out.
I said, not the sumo wrestler.
I said,
not the sumo.
And I mean, girl, you got beat up that bad to where, because she had got the friend down with the knife. You got beat up that bad.
Where you couldn't even do nothing. You couldn't help.
And she was like, and your friend gone. Now, this, again, the acting came in here because she was like, oh, God, look at, what did she say about God? What did she tell her? She was
I forgot. Family, what was she saying?
What was she telling her? She was like, Ask
Come on,
God, ask
family.
God, or something. Yeah, we need the line though.
The family gonna come through because they was repeating it.
She was looking her in the eye like this. What was she saying?
Let go and let God. Yeah, she was saying
Let
let
go
go
and
and
let
let
God, let
God.
go and let
Thank
God, let go
you.
and let God, let go and let God, let go. I was like, and so then of course they was, tussling. Sis went and hid in the bedroom after her friend was taken out.
Yeah.
And then wait, this did they start tussling again? Her and the girl, I forgot.
Who? Monique and the friend? And the
And
friend?
Sky, no Sky.
Oh,
After the
Monique
friend
and
was
Sky. I'm about
gone.
to say the friend that got the friend is out of here. Monique and Sky start. Was it a tussle? Yeah, they did start tussling again. It was like a little fight, and then Monique ended up on top of her.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then she reached and got the gun.
So Monique is on top of Sky,
Mm-hmm.
and Sky's looking up, and Monique is about. Is she about to stab her? She's about
Yeah,
to
she's about
stab
to
her.
stab her. Mm-hmm.
And Sky pulls out and points the gun, and Monique said, "Ain't no more bullets." And Sky shoots, and the gun doesn't go off. And Monique was like, "What she said? Boom!" She said, "I
Yeah,
told you,
you.
boom, bitch." And
Yeah.
then Sky shot again. Monique goes to lift the knife. She said, "I told you, boom!" And lifts the knife. Sky shot again, boom, and the gun goes off, and it hits Monique right in the cheek. Now, this is the important part because it hits Monique in the cheek. Monique is stuck. The bullet done went through her face, and the blood is leaking out over Sky. So Sky is bleeding. Monique's blood is leaking out over Sky. Monique leans over, drops dead, and we think the movie is over, but then what happens, Darcell?
We think that. Oh, the voice, the voice, the. It was the girl. I'm confused.
We think the movie is over, and then because it goes to like closing scene, and something told me to wait because I shook the mouse, and it said it was 2 minutes and some change left. I was like,
Girl, I didn't see that.
"You didn't see that?"
No.
Oh, so Darcell, you really not gonna know? Okay, so because then we got to talk about the theories. It's like 2 minutes and some change left. Darcell, the credits hit. Wait like a few seconds. It opens up. Sky is now sitting in the same seat that Monique was in the very beginning. After her family got killed, and Monique was doing an interview. Sky is sitting in the same seat doing an interview, explaining what happened. And they're like, "How did you get out of the house?" And she's like, "I don't know. When I woke up, I just knew the code." And she's looking down. She said, "When I woke up, I knew the code." And then she looks up at the camera. She said something else, and she looks up at the camera, but essentially insinuating that Sky is now a murderer. Like she's now a killer. Like she got away with all of it. You gotta watch that part, Darcell.
Girl,
You gotta
bye.
watch that part.
Bye. So now she's okay. Okay.
So this was the part, and so damn, Darcell. So now, because the reason that's important is because that really threw us for a whole loop.
That has thrown me for a loop.
That
That has
threw us
thrown me
for
for
a
a
whole
loop.
loop because
Okay.
that essentially insinuated that that yes, Phoenix Goddess said that Emma is in her body, that she is now the killer, that she now has Emma's energy, right? So keep that in mind, that that's how the movie ends. Now, what do you feel like was the whole point of the movie? What do you feel like happened?
I don't know. Now I'm stuck.
That's how we
Now I'm
was.
stuck. Because then I'm like, I'm stuck, girl.
You gonna have to go back and watch that end because when that happened, I was like, wait, what? Like, what is this? So she's now what? So we all in and we go straight into discussion. And these are the three
What
theories.
are the theories? Okay.
Theory one was that Monique was possessed. That she was possessed with a demon, and this demon she was possessed with made her kill her whole family. This demon transferred into Sky because remember Sky was saying that when they touch me, I don't know what happens. When she made physical contact, that blood hit her. That demon has now transferred into Sky. So that was theory 1, that Monique was possessed. Theory 2 was that what was theory 2, family? What was theory 2? I want to say it was that theory 2 was that Monique was very well aware of what was going on. She wasn't possessed. I know it, family. Theory 2 was that she was not possessed. She was very well aware of what was going on. And everything happened. They did this reading, and when Sky has this gift where if the energy touches her, she gets it. Theory 2 was that, again, it's not a possession. This is just who Monique is. She was very conscious and aware of what she was doing. It may have been some mental health, like schizophrenia or something like that. Candace in the group kept on saying, it has to be some type of mental health. So fully aware and conscious of what's going on, probably some mental health. But at the end, when that blood touches her, when she makes physical contact with Sky, Monique's actual energy, Emma's energy, goes into Sky, and now Sky is Emma. So theory 1, it's a demon that was possessing Emma, and now that demon is in Sky. Theory 2, Monique was who she was, fully aware, maybe a mental health issue, but now Monique is in Sky. Theory 3, and this was the one, essence of D, Max, everybody in the group. This is the one that we was like, oh shit. Theory 3, Darcell, was that essentially Emma and Sky had the same motive for the same thing. Sky went into that house because she got a gift. She went into that house knowing what was about to go down. The reason she was feeling off was because she had an inkling that something was about to go down. And in that moment, whether if it was before they got in the house or when all of this was happening, Sky knew that she was coming about that house alone. She made a choice to essentially sacrifice all her friends to get that $100,000, to get that bag, because she needed it for her family. May the best man win. So theory 3 is that Monique and Sky come from the same type of place. They had the same type of motive. They both didn't want to go back to the hood. And at the end of the day, it was may the best woman win, and Sky won. And that's why she looked up at the camera at the end like, yeah, bitch.
My wig is gone.
Gone. Gone.
My wig is gone because, and you know what? That's wild because earlier I was like, they got the same thing going on. They got the same thing, the same motives. They do.
So Charisma said, but she would not get it because everybody did. But the King game, But the King game would be TV, and books, absolutely. Which means she's now getting famous. She's getting money. She's now getting famous. Her family is taken care of.
She didn't help her friend.
She didn't. She didn't. That would explain why she stopped fighting and why she didn't help her friend when her friend was getting killed. May the last woman win. And then the family also said, and that's why I said I got to go back and watch it again, because the family also said that the friend and the boyfriend was inappropriate outside. Like there was some type of indication that maybe they was doing something inappropriate at one point. So
yes.
So Sky probably was already like, she wanted to get rid of the boyfriend. She was sick of him. She knew her friend wasn't loyal, so she was like, hell, all y'all could go. And she took Emma out the game. Now that's with theory 3. With theory 2, though, or to 1 or 2, regardless, because I said at the end of the day, Sky won if we go according to theory 3. Yeah. But if you go according to theory 2, which at the end of theory 1 or 2, Sky is now possessed with the spirit of Monique or the demon that was in Monique. One of those two. If you go with one of those, at the end of the day, then Emma won because the spirit lives on.
Yeah, but my issue with that is why was Sister Woman? She had to already have been possessed at this point for her to be cracking her back around like that at their table. And I think my issue is, if it is that she was possessed, which is what they were trying to give, I guess that's why it's like the thing in the corner, like all of this type of stuff. What we needed to see how that happened with Monique.
And that's why I said I'm gonna have to go back and watch it, because so Grayson said that he noticed that it was like something red, like something red outside the house. Every time they would look out the window, it was like a red blur or something like that outside the house. They also, like I said, the family was talking about the thing in the corner. My first watch, I had not noticed any of this. I had not noticed the thing in the corner. I had not noticed anything, any type of red blur outside the house. So that's why I said now that we have these 3 theories in mind,
I
I
gotta
gotta
go
go back
back.
for I gotta go back.
And we may have to do an update. We may have to do an updated review, because that's wild. But I could definitely see from the transfer of the blood and of the energy how that could be. But oh wow.
Because so I went in, all these theories, like I said, theory 3 especially was the one that threw me for a loop. That was the one that came
Yes.
from Max and Essence of D, and many others in the community kept saying Essence of D was like it was a lick from the beginning. Sky came in and hit the big lick because they had been scamming. Sky
Yes.
came in and hit the big lick from the beginning. That one really threw me for a loop, because honestly, for me, I was with theory 2. Theory
Yeah.
2 was my theory, was essentially Monique was fully aware, fully conscious. I never felt like she was possessed. I felt like she was fully aware, fully conscious of what she was doing. And I felt like Sky had this gift. And remember, she kept indicating, if they touch me, I don't know what's gonna happen. And the boyfriend was like, well, he was like, you don't know what's gonna happen, right? Because it never happened before. And Sky kind of looked like indicating that it had happened before. So I'm
Right.
feeling like what happens is if the spirit touches her, they basically mount her. She gets the spirit. When Monique made physical contact with her, I feel like I thought Monique's energy entered Sky. When that blood especially touched her at the end, when she shot in the face, and that, because they showed that big thick drop of blood drip down on her. They put the camera on Sky, and Sky is looking like she's taking on an energy. Like she's like this, and then it goes black. We think credits roll, and then it comes back, and she's now sitting in that interview chair acting just how Monique acted in the beginning. So I'm thinking, my theory was she now has Emma's energy. She has Monique's energy.
That feels like that was the intention. It feels like that was the intention.
But the community got me questioning myself.
I know. I feel like the writer's intention might have been that, but also this third theory has me in shackles.
And then the community, and this is how you know, y'all, this was a good movie. Because I love a movie that ends where we like, what you think happened? What you think it was? What you think it was? This, y'all, this was a good movie. Ocean Goddess said, I think it was actually a mixture of 2 and 3. 2 and 3 meaning what? That she is possessed by the energy, but also Sky hit the lick, and she, at the end of the day, she won.
Yeah,
because that could also be true.
But this is the thing. This is why theory 3 has me in a chokehold, because they are scammers, girl. They are scammers, and it's the desperation. It's the desperation to save my family. All y'all fake. All y'all this is the desperation.
The desperation. God. And the crazy thing is that Scott and Monique had the same motive. Yes. Neither one of them wanted to go back to the hood. So that same reason that Monique had for killing all her family and killing Sky friends, Sky had that same motive to allow her friends to be sacrificed for the bag.
And therefore, and you know, if we look at energy and principle, that's resonance. Y'all at the same frequency. Same. That's resonance. So if it is also that it was a spirit or energy in her, then y'all at the same frequency. I'm done. You know what? I'm gonna watch it again, and we have to give an updated. After I watch it again, we may have to give an updated.
I'm probably gonna watch it tonight, because I say I don't know. I gotta
watch.
The family had me in shambles last night. I said, okay, y'all, we got 3 different theories here. I don't know what's true. What she said, she was truly gifted, but they were scamming from the beginning. But remember, Mo was playing checkers, and Sky was playing chess.
She was.
Yes.
She was. I don't know. We giving Sky too much credit.
Are we?
Are we giving her
Are
too
we?
much credit?
Are we giving her too much credit, or did we underestimate her from the very beginning? Did we think that she was weak and docile and unable to really use her gift for her own good, and she finally took her power back?
Because we thought Monique was weak and docile.
So at the end of the day, so many themes could come from this movie. So many lessons could come from this movie. Because you have the theme of reclaiming power. You have the theme of not judging a book by its cover. You have the theme
Yes.
of greed.
Right.
That's a big theme, right? You have the theme of hunger, determination, perseverance. There's so many themes that could come from this.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole thing of pimping your gift for the spiritual community, you know, being in search of the bag, going to your own detriment.
To your own detriment. Did she show she was coming at the beginning? So Monique did it, and that's the thing. So somebody had also said that maybe Sky and Monique was in cahoots, but that couldn't be the case, because we have to keep in mind that the agent and the boyfriend had set up this reading. Monique didn't know who all was coming, and that's why she made that comment where she said, I wouldn't have had to do this if you would have only bought one person. Speaking of, I guess, the boyfriend. And so, see, somebody else has said that they felt like Monique and Sky was in cahoots, and that they basically set everybody up. But to me, that don't even make sense. That don't make sense.
I can't. Right. I don't think so, because it was too. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Because that moment of them being together alone in the room would not have even been a thing. When she went and was showing the bedrooms and stuff, they wouldn't have had that moment.
That makes no sense. Sky and Monique did not know each other. They did not know each other. Monique was truly caught off guard that Sky really channeled that gift. She was truly caught off guard that, you said cunning, not coming. Sorry. She was truly caught off guard that Sky had that level of gift. She was truly caught off guard that Sky knew that she murdered her family. I think Monique went on a rampage, started trying to get everybody up out of here. And I still feel like at the end, she had taken on Monique's energy. I feel like at the end that's what happened. She took on Monique's energy
by way of her greed, which is how 2 and 3 can't come together.
2 and 3.
All right.
We done figured it out, family.
We done figured it out. We done figured it out by way of her greed. Yes. Because
we gonna figure it out.
It was even her greed, and everybody has their reasons. Everybody has their justifications as to why they should go for the money or do it. But it was desperation. It was the same thing. It was our greed. Oh,
it was the greed.
Listen. Well, we know that Sky is definitely going to the Beyoncé concert.
She'll definitely be at the Renaissance tour.
She'll be at the Renaissance tour in the club section. Oh my gosh. So the theory is number 5.
Number 5.
We're going with the 5th theory. It's a mix of 2 and 3.
Phoenix Indigo said, I think the blood transferred her spirit. I think so too. You don't think Sky was an evil genius? I don't think Sky was an evil genius per se, but I do feel like her motive, of course, as we knew, when her mother was getting banged out in the room and she said, I'll do it, her motive was money. And I feel like, she too had that underlying motive, that underlying greed, and it paired well. Okay, so now that Monique's energy has transferred into her, and she's able to fully be who Monique was, which was somebody who ain't going back to the hood by any means necessary.
And much younger too. Good God Almighty. Well, you know what? Good job. I retract my critiques slightly. Good job. Good job. Great job. Monique, top tier. She's that girl. I'm glad.
She's that girl.
I'm glad we have conflict resolution. Monique and Lee back together so we can see what they create. That was everything.
That was. And the thing for me, I feel like this movie could have been in the big screen, but I also feel like much how I was when I first ended it. Because that last scene when Sky looked up to the camera. That last scene, and then the credits rolled. I was so frustrated because I was like, what was this? I was thrown for all kind of loops.
Oh, you
So I
can't
do
stand a
feel
cliffhanger.
I cannot stand a movie that don't end with us knowing what the hell happened. I'm like, what did we just watch? What happened? But it did garner great discussion. So again, which makes it a good movie. And I do feel like if this was in the theater, I feel like folks would have been pissed. Folks would have been leaving the theater pissed, and they would have trashed the movie just because they don't have a wellness community that they could sit and talk about 3 different theories with. Folks would have gave that thing 1 star. Okay.
because it is. Yeah, right. But upon further discussion,
it's like, ooh, this makes it even more interesting, which makes you want to go back for another watch. And I'm going back for another watch.
I will be watching, so please be prepared for your phone to blow up and be like, girl.
Okay.
Girl, I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
And on the second watch, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I was going to switch.
I was going to say on the second watch, we got to be prepared for, we looking out for the energy in the corner. Yes. We're looking out for potentially the red blur outside. We are also looking out because Max mentioned that when she had heard her mother getting banged out, she said that, what's her name? Sky was sleeping and was having a crazy dream. So Max also inferred that maybe something was happening in a dream. So we got to pay attention to that part too. Also pay attention to any time Monique made physical contact with her and how Sky reacted. If any time before the blood transfer, did Monique ever make physical contact with her and how Sky reacted?
They hugged. They did hug. We gotta watch it again. We gotta watch it again. Okay, but what I was gonna say was, now I need to go watch what? Well, I'm gonna watch this again so I keep that ending, but then I gotta watch the what? What documentary?
Zora Neale Hurston Claiming a Space.
Is this gonna blow my wig off?
How do you feel about Zora Neale Hurston?
I'm not. Okay, that's enough for me. Okay.
It depends on how you feel about Zora, okay, and how much you know about Zora. Just go in open-minded, but really listen to Zora's whole story. Zora Neale Hurston Claiming a Space. The documentary is free on PBS.com or PBS app. You can upload it on your TV, PBS app, if you got like a Fire Stick or something like that. Watch it on there. It's completely free. Get into Zora Neale Hurston Claiming a Space.
Okay, so if I FaceTime you at 4 a.m, pick up, because I'm be like, girl, yeah,
what is it?
Okay, well, you know what, y'all, we've been on here. We got an hour and 30, got a good chunk of conversation. Good job. We support Black film, Black media, Black projects, Black businesses. I will have to sell mine to get the Renaissance ticket, but the point is that we support it. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and head out. Thank you, Queen Poe.
Love you always.
We love a good collaboration, especially on the film.
Yeah.
You know, we need to be called like the movie siblings or something. We need to be called something.
Who was the movie critics back in the day that was real popular? Was it Cecil and Ebert or something like that? What was it?
Yes. What was it? Oh, well, you remember in Living Color, the two... they would be watching
2 snaps in a circle.
The 2 snaps in a circle. That's it. Yes. All right, y'all. We love you. Thank you, Wellness Community. Thank you, Lighthouse. Love y'all. See y'all later. All right. Peace, y'all.